Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to discuss one more topic from unit number 2, that is called the minutes of the meeting. It's called the minutes of the meeting. As I said, when we did the agenda for meeting, it is actually a 3-phase thing. So agenda would be before, then you have the actual meeting taking place, and then you have the after part, that is known as the minutes of the meeting. So whatever meeting it may be, meetings are titled, right? In the agenda, you have seen that you have to have a title for the meeting. Whatever meeting it may be, you have to record or have to maintain a record, a written documentation of how you are working. Now, minutes of the meeting represent all the records of the proceedings at the meeting. Now, if you see the title itself says that it's the minutes. Minutes over here, we are supposed to not write at 9:1 this happened, at 9:2 this happened, but we are surely supposed to include each and every small detail. We are surely supposed to include each and every minute detail over here, right? So even the smallest of the information that is present has to be written in the minutes of the meeting. Beginning from mentioning what the agenda of the meeting was, to all the small decisions or the big decisions that have been taken up need to be mentioned over here in the minutes. Most of the time, the minutes of the meeting are to be recorded after the meeting gets over. Most of the times, the minutes of the meeting are to be recorded once the meeting gets over. It means that during the meeting, certain rough notes or point taking or note taking takes place, and then it is properly drafted into the structure of the minutes after the meeting gets over, right? Moreover, whatever decisions are being taken in the meeting, they are noted topic wise. Because it is a technical documentation, the minutes, it would have a certain structure. That is why you cannot have or you cannot write the minutes on the spot. You have to arrange it. What you do when the meeting is going on is considered as note taking or noting down important details, but the actual minutes would be written after. It would also include the decisions that are made in the meeting. Let's say they're going to make a new product available in the market. So what decisions have you taken for the new product? So one of the decisions could be we need somebody to market it. Then our step number 2 would be launching a small sample portion of our product. And we'll be doing it within 2 weeks time frame. So whatever, see, when it's spoken as always been told that when it's spoken, when something is spoken, it vanishes in thin air. So we need a concrete proof of the decisions taken so we can note it down, and we can always go back to the minutes of the meeting to refer it for any reason whatsoever the reason may be. Because it is an official documentation of things happening, it has to be clear, precise, and formal. It has to be clear, precise, and formal. Now, who notes the minutes of the meeting? It is either noted by the secretary, or it would be noted by a person who has been assigned the task before the meeting starts, right? If you are going to assign the task to somebody, you have to inform the person beforehand so that he or she can take appropriate notes during the meeting. So there is the statement true or false. We have a reconnector here. The minutes of the meeting are written after the meeting takes place. You may type your answer in the chat box. Only one incorrect answer. The rest of you are correct. It is true. The minutes of the meeting are written after the meeting takes place. Remember, when you are writing during the meeting, it is called as note taking and not as minutes. Minutes have a proper structure so that you cannot write during the meeting. So the statement is true. Once the meeting gets over, then and then you can write the minutes of the meeting. So what is the definition? The minutes of the meeting can be defined as a written or a recorded documentation. What's the use of this documentation which is written or recorded? It is actually helpful for people to understand the decisions that have been taken. It is also a document which can be used for future referencing. Moreover, as we mentioned in the agenda, sometimes what will happen is you have two things to do at the same time, both equally important. So you must miss one thing and do the other thing, right? So when you miss one certain aspect, how do you know what happened in the meeting? It is important for you to know what happened in the meeting. So this is how you can come to know what decisions were taken, what discussions were done in the meeting itself. So it acts as an documentation for reference to people who were unable to attend the meeting due to some official reason. Moreover, it is also a documentation for the foundation of the next meeting as well. Right? What do you discuss in the next meeting? Could also be built on the foundation of the previous minutes. Generally, what happens is when every organization would have its structure of writing the minutes of the meeting, but certain elements are same. Let's say every time somebody writes a minute of the meeting, that minutes are read aloud in the next meeting. That is, we bring in a printed copy and read the same printed copy in the next meeting, so that people who could not find time to read the minutes themselves are again made aware of the decisions taken in the previous meeting. After the minutes are read out, the chairman or the chairperson, whosoever has called the meeting, would sign the minutes, and then they would be put into the file for future reference purpose. The minutes of the meeting are always written in reported speech. They're always written in reported speech. Moreover, we do not write long paragraphs. You either use the point format, that is, you have bullet points, or what you can do is you can have a few sentences with topical heading. So there would be a heading for each topic that is discussed, and then a little few lines or a few bullet points after that. So is this statement true or false? The minutes of the meeting is always written in reported speech form. Is the statement true or false? Minutes of the meeting is always written in reported speech form. Just one answer? Only one person? Is the statement true or false? I'm giving you a few minutes to think. Is the statement true or false? Statement is true. Please pay attention, right? See, in the very second bullet point, you can see they are always written in the reported speech form. Why? Because they are reported after the meeting takes place. The meeting has already taken place, and after that, you have to note the minutes. Please remember, minutes are always written in the reported speech form and not in any other form. All right, I hope it is clear. So the statement that the minutes of the meeting is always written in the reported speech form, the statement is true. So the essentials of minutes of meeting, what are the things that you require? Usually, you do not have a universally fixed format, but most of the companies more or less follow the format or have the following features in their minutes. First is the minutes begin with the letterhead or the name of the company. They begin with the letterhead or the name of the company. Next, it would have the name of the organizer or the department. You cannot have a meeting with the entire organization or entire institute or the entire company. Right? The part, which part of the company is having a meeting, and the nature of the meeting. By nature here we mean what are we, what did we try to discuss? Also, was it a meeting that we met in a meeting room and did? Was it an online meeting, an offline meeting? Whatever it was, that's called the nature of the meeting. Next, the day, the date, the time, and the place of the meeting. Now, please remember over here, we have already discussed this during the agenda of the meeting as well, that you cannot have dates in technical documentation portions or technical documents. You cannot have the date only in digits. You need to mention the full date. The same thing applies to minutes of the meeting as well. You cannot have just digits in your dates. You need to have the full date. That is the date, the day, the date, the month, and the year. Next, in the time, we have mentioned in the agenda as well, we have learned in the agenda of meeting as well, that in the time as well, you cannot just write the digits. You have to mention the AM and the PMs. Now, the place of the meeting. The venue or the place of the meeting has to be a meeting room. You cannot write in the dean's office or in the senior manager's office. You have to have a place. See, when organizations are built, they would have a special meeting room. That's called planning. They would have planned, right? Because meetings are an inevitable part of any organization. Meetings are an inevitable part of any organization. Be it a small one or a big one, does not make a difference. It would be a part of each and every organization. So they would have kept this thing in mind, that when we have a meeting, where will we have it? So accordingly, they would have a special space. So you need to mention the venue properly. You cannot have venue as such in the senior manager's office. You cannot have such venues. Right? So these are 1, 2, and 3. Next, the name of the chairperson, the chairman or the chairwoman who has called the meeting has to be mentioned, so that for documentation purpose, it is not necessary each time the same person will call a meeting. It is not necessary every time the same person will call the meeting, or he or she will only be the chair for the meeting throughout your time of service in that organization. So you need to mention the name of the chair, And you also have to mention the members that were present. Here you have to have a table, a tabular format where you have the names of the people who are mentioned, and you can also have a column where you have a signature sheet. So when you meet in the next meeting, you can have a signature column where you can get the people's signature. Not only the attendees, you are also supposed to mention the names of the people, such as those who play an passive role in the meeting. That is the person who has written the minutes, that's the secretary. Somebody who was there present as the auditor. Right? These are the people who are not going to take active decisions, but they are a part of the meeting. So their name needs to be mentioned there. We also need to have a confirmation of the previous meetings. When you read, this many decisions were taken and they have been approved. Right? So that also you need to mention in the minutes of the meeting, because you will be reading it out loud. That's why in the next meeting. Now, every work or every decision that has been taken in the meeting cannot be carried out by any one person. Now, what would happen in that case? You have to assign people work. So let's say not everybody can do, everybody in the organization cannot, let's say make a software. Some people work with the hardware part. I'm talking with reference to a computer. And there would be certain people who can develop software, certain people can work on the hardwaring part, certain people can work on the coding part. Again, because this is a business technical document, you need to clearly mention who has been assigned which work. Right? For purpose of clarity, you have to write, let's say coding work has been assigned to Mr. Tapan, software development work assigned to Mr. Kunal, then branding and marketing allowed, marketing assigned to Miss Kinjal. Right? So different works which have been assigned, you have to mention in the minutes. Again, remember, it's a document that you have to refer in the future. Who did this work? No, you cannot throw the ball to everybody. He did it, he did it, he did it. You always move back to the minutes and see, okay, this work was originally assigned to person A, but person A has only done this much work. Because every time you have a meeting, you'll have an update. You may also have a little briefing about the discussion that took place. When I say briefing, it should be like the pressy writing that you do, 1/3 of the entire meeting. So around approximately 300 words, not more. Approximately 300 words, not more. Then you could include the vote of thanks, and then there should be a space for signature in the minutes. Right? So that, as I said, when we sign a document, we give it an authenticity. It becomes more authentic when you sign the document. Right? When you sign the document, it becomes more authentic. It is similar to the check that you sign. Even if you have a lot of money in the bank account, you have to, if you wish to withdraw it with the help of a check, you need to sign the check. Right? So signature for authentication is an essential requirement of the minutes of the meeting. So is the statement true or false? At the end, there should not be space for date and requirement signature. Excellent. You have been paying attention. Excellent. The answers are correct. The statement is false. Why? Because you require a signature at the end to authenticate the minutes of the meeting, right? This you can keep in mind for every technical document that is written or that is a part of any business, because signature, remember, when you sign it, it becomes more authentic. So signatures are a part of any technical documentation that you do. Let's say you do your lab experiments, you have an experiment book where you note your lab experiments, right? How come you know that it is going correct? Your teacher will sign it. Your teacher will not only check it, he or she will also sign it, right? So from that example, we can understand that signature or signing of a technical document is very important because it gives it authenticity, right? So in the minutes also, it should be signing the document. Now let's see a sample for the minutes of the meeting. So if you see the sample on the very beginning, you have the title of the meeting. Just give me a minute. I hope you have had a good look at it. So it begins with the title of the meeting. So this example which is cited is called, it's a sales meeting. We have a example of the minutes for a sales meeting. So the date, the time. Now if you see in the time, it's 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. If the AM PM does not change, it's okay if you write 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. or 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. Right? In case it changes, let's say from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. In that case, you need to write AM and PM both. Why? If I just write 11:30 to 12:30 p.m., it would mean that the meeting took place at midnight. We're not supposed to have a meeting taking place at midnight. Okay, so mention it. Then the venue. Here I have taken the example of the numberings that are happening to classrooms or the faculty offices in our college. You could take up a similar example, or you could simply write the meeting room, second floor, whatever is convenient. Then you have the meeting agenda in the bullet points. Remember, you don't have to write the whole agenda here. You have to just mention the bullets of what was the actual agenda of the meeting for which the minutes are being written. Remember, they are interconnected. You cannot write meetings on your minutes on your own. Meeting minutes would be, the minutes of the meeting would be based on the agenda that you have been following, right? So 2 bullet points. What was the meeting? It is a sales meeting. So the agenda is innovative ways to promote the product. The second agenda would be increasing the sale, because it's a sales meeting, right? Write appropriate agenda according to the title, or fix the title in an appropriate way suiting to the meeting agenda. Now this line which is there is an inevitable part of every minutes. Why? Because if you remember, in the agenda we had a section or a space for suggestions. You have not planned that part. It will be on the spot. So this line is what we need to have, which says, apart from the said agenda, the meeting would welcome further insights, queries, and creative suggestions. The meeting would welcome further insights, queries, and creative suggestions. This is a part of the minutes because there might be certain points which were not a part of the agenda but have been discussed, seeing the dire need of the time. And then you have to write the name of the person who has called the meeting, his designation, the name of the organization, and the place. Right? This is how you do it. This is the page 1 of your meeting, minutes of the meeting. Keeping in mind examination. This is how you start. This is the first page. Then you have page 2. As I said, you can either write it bullet point wise, or if you have a table. See, table forms look more neat and clean, more formal, more professional. So that's why the first thing that you need to have is the attendance sheet. Here I have taken a meeting with 2 people, 2 other people, and the manager is the third one because he has called the meeting. He's there. So what do? You write the date, the time, and the venue in a tabular form. Then you have, do not forget, every time you change the page, you have to write the title of the meeting. So you can see there's a title of the meeting which says sales meeting, attendance sheet. You mention what it is. This is an attendance sheet. There you divide it into columns. Any remarks? Why the column of remark over here? In case, see, here I have taken only example of 2 people attending the meeting. It could be even 5 or 6, and one of the person has been officially engaged or is on an office tour or a sudden tour that he has to take up. That you can mention in the remarks part if the person is not present. Right, so you have got 1 and 2. Now if you arranging the people, you are supposed to arrange the people in proper chronology. By proper chronology, I mean according to the person's designation, you are supposed to arrange the person's name in the attendance sheet. The first name that should come would be of the person who has called the meeting. The second name that should come is the next person in line, and then the third name, next person in line, so on and so forth. So on and so forth. Now the next thing that you have to draw is again in a tabular format would be better, but it is okay if you give a heading and write bullet points within. Let's say this is a table format which I have used, which says that the first topic that was discussed was selection of new innovative ways to promote the product, and this task has been assigned to Mr. Amit Patel. What is the task assigned? Mr. Amit Patel is supposed to provide basic necessities for product launching. He has to see that the product launches on time, teaser, trailer, that you can mention, right? One way. The other way, you can write selection of new innovative ways to promote the product. Then bullet point number 1, an arrow, and Mr. Patel, Amit Patel has been assigned this task. Bullet point number 2, he's supposed to provide for the basic things for product launching. Point number 3, he has to look after the product launch, the teaser, the trailer, and after effects as well. Point number 4, right? Either in the table format or in the bullet format, whatever format you wish, you can use this selection of format for the purpose of exam. Okay, whatever format you feel comfortable, you may use the same. So I hope I'm clear. Usually the minutes of the meeting should not be more than 2 A4 size pages when you are handwriting it, because handwritings are big, could be big and small, but a minimum requirement is of 2 pages. A little more if you wish to extend, it could be 2.5, but not more than that. because in the initial stages we have seen that minutes of the meeting should be clear and precise. And by precision, we mean that it should not have unnecessary long descriptions. It should not have unnecessary long descriptions. I hope I'm clear. This is page 1. This is page 2. This is just a sample that you can use as your guideline. You can have more number of people, you can have more tasks assigned to make it look better. It should not look this small. And this is a sample that I have had for you. Right? So this is what minutes of the meetings are all about. Do we have any questions and queries? Fine. We do not have any queries as answered. So I'll just recollect the minutes of the meeting. They are written after the meeting gets over. During the meeting, you just take notes. It's known as note taking. After the meeting gets over, this is more or less the structure that we studied, that which each organization would follow. More or less the elements would be similar. Minutes of the meeting are always written in the reported speech form. Minutes is actually a part of a 3-phase process, wherein phase 1 is agenda of the meeting, that is before the meeting, then the meeting itself, that is during the meeting, and minutes of the meeting after the meeting part. Minutes of the meeting are a written documentation which is meant for both the people who are present in the meeting and people who are unable to attend the meeting equally. It is also a part of a documentation that you can refer to in the future. Meetings, the minutes should be precise and clear. It also documents important decisions that are taken. It can be either in a tabular form as shown to you in the sample, or it could be in bulleted forms. You do not have long paragraphs in minutes. If it is a table, you have a column and things are mentioned. If it is in a bulleted point, you have to have headings. So task 1, task 2, and then the bullets after those. Apart from the decisions taken, the minutes of the meeting also records the task responsibilities. Whatever responsibilities have been given to person A, B, and C has also a space in the minutes of the meeting. So this is what minutes of the meeting are all about. So let us have our quiz now. The quiz for today. So you may find the link of today's quiz in the chat box. You can start attempting your quiz. You may start attempting your quiz. can see everybody has attempted the quiz. That's nice. Let's take the attendance for today. So 18 series, enrollment number 14.
Yes, ma'am.
19 series, enrollment number 1. 2. 3.
वो मैडम था, वो गलती से निकल गया, उसने किस भी दे दिया, मुझे मैसेज किया था।
Enrollment number 2. Yeah, 3.
3 गौरव पिथोड़ा, enrollment 3.
Enrollment 3, okay. Enrollment 4. Yes. Enrollment number 5.
2 number. 4, yes, ma'am. Hello, 4 present.
Okay, 5 is present. Enrollment number 6.
Yes. Yes.
7. 8.
Yes, ma'am.
9.
Yes, ma'am.
10.
Hello, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
11.
7 present.
12.
Yes.
13. 14. 15.
Yes, ma'am.
16.
Present.
17.
Yes, ma'am.
18.
Yes.
19. 21. 22.
Yes, ma'am.
23.
Yes, ma'am, 21.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, 21.
Yes, I'll call out the absent numbers once again so that if you have missed it, you can tell me. Enrollment number 1, 2,
Yes, ma'am. 2. Ma'am, 2 is present.
yes, I've marked it now. 7,
Yes, ma'am. 7 present.
14, 'The absent numbers for the day are enrollment number 1 and enrollment number 14.
Ma'am, 21 हो गया.
I am calling the absent numbers, right? So the others are present. Enrollment number 1 and enrollment number 14 are the 2 people who are absent.
Okay.
Fine. This was technical writing, and in technical writing, this was minutes of the meeting. We have completed minutes of the meeting. Right. So next week we'll be having letter writing. That's the topic for next week. In case you still have any doubts, you can always get back to me with an email or with a message. Right. So thank you, class. Thank you for being in the lecture. Thank you.